I'm recording now.
Now you're recording?
Yes.
Right now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want to verify, you can see the timer going.
I believe you. I trust you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. 12 seconds. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Okay.
20. Let's do this.
What are you trying to say, Lisa? Why are we standing? I don't know, God. It's very real. Was I supposed to spend the rest of my life feeling miserable like a basic
Why are you with Shirley and her cardigan? Why are you with me? I don't know why I'm still with you. I mean, I used to know, but I don't.
Basic Teen TV.
What up, basic bitches? Woo!
Hi, basic bitches. Bow, 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 bow.
Officially, we are Basic Teen TV. We're a weekly podcast where we talk about a 90s teen TV dramas. We've been discussing Dawson's Creek. We are deep, almost at the very end, you guys, of season 5 in Dawson's Creek.
Almost as relative.
I mean, season 5 though. We're close to the end of season 5.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
There's a whole other season. I was mentioning.
Wait. My name's Melissa.
I'm Cyndi.
I'm Victoria.
Okay, now go.
I was mentioning to.
Put her on mute.
We don't want people to forget
Wouldn't
our
be the
names.
first time. I had a big realization last week as I was watching Dawson's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that one season of Dawson's Creek is the equivalent runtime to watching Oppenheimer 7 times.
It's a lot of Oppenheimer.
It's a lot of content. It's a lot of Dawson's Creek.
A lot of Dawson's Creek. Yes.
We've been watching basically Oppenheimer 7 times for the last
5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never seen Oppenheimer.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet either.
Very good, but it is 3 hours long. But if we can get through 3 episodes of Dawson's Creek, that's the equivalent.
Of one Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Okay. How many Titanics is that?
That's
How long
probably
was
about
Titanic?
one Titanic as well.
Yeah.
Titanic was at 3 hours.
Was it that long?
Yeah, I think because they did the boat sinking like in real time
Oh.
or something. Anyways, let's talk about Dawson's Creek and not
All right.
Oppenheimer or Titanic.
So the episode we're going to talk about is episode 19, which is called 100 Light Years from Home. I don't really understand some of these episode titles.
Yeah,
Is it because they're in Florida?
Yeah, they went from Boston to Florida, and that's 100 light years.
From home.
But
It's a 22-hour drive from Boston, which is what we determined.
Yeah, and definitely not 100 light years. But
Definitely not even close.
No.
Yeah, so this is the spring break episode. So they're partying. Well, the only one who's partying is Jack.
Oh, wait. It is 1,503 miles, not 1,000 light years.
It's 100 light years.
100 light years.
How far away is the sun? How many light years is the sun from Earth?
Hold, please.
Hold, please. Well, while Cyndi looks that up, what or who do we want to talk about first? We've got
91.432 million miles.
How many light years is that, though?
What is a light year?
It's a unit of measure
I
for
know, but, like,
space. How many years it takes light to travel a distance. So if something happens 100 light years away, then it would take 100 years for us to see it.
1 light year is about 6 trillion miles.
So 100
trillion?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So 100 light years is like the other side of the galaxy. They just went to Florida.
They went 1,000. They traveled 1,503 miles.
Okay.
Not even 1 light year.
Not even 1 light year, because 1 light year is 6 trillion miles.
Anyways. Stupid.
We really got into the weeds.
Yeah, we did already. So I was asking you guys, who do we want to talk about first? What storyline do we want to hit first?
Well, we can set it up in that the whole gang is going to Audrey's beach house in Miami, except for Dawson and what I've written down as film dude. His name is Oliver. They're going to New York for like a producer meeting. Who's like
it's very important.
Some big New York producer has seen their college like art film and is like into it.
Well, they submitted their film to like, I think Dawson said like 70 different
and they
agencies
only got
or
this
studios.
one callback.
Right. Yeah. From this New York City agent guy. So Oliver and Dawson, instead of going on spring break, are going to go to New York to meet with this guy. Meanwhile, the rest of the gang, so Audrey, Pacey, Joey, Jen, and Jack are down, like you said, at Audrey's parents' beach house in Miami. So they're all hanging out. They're trying to figure out what to do.
It's a lot of puka shell necklaces.
They're all kind of like hanging out by the pool, and they're trying to figure out what to do or what they want to do. And then this young kid rolls up or starts to roll up, and Joey's like, "Who is that guy? How do I know him?" And Jen's like, "Oh my God, that's Chris Hartford." And he comes up and he's like,
We're not supposed to know who this is, right? He's just like famous in the
world of Dawson's Creek.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no idea who Chris Hartford is. I didn't even recognize this kid's face. So
Me either.
I have no idea who he's supposed to be a teen heartthrob, because Pacey makes a joke.
Newsflash. He's not.
Pacey makes a joke about like, "Oh my God, my Tiger Beat teen heartthrob arrived. I was afraid it wasn't going to get here in time."
Tiger Beat.
Y'all remember Tiger Beat?
Of course.
I loved me some Tiger Beat.
Hanson was always on Tiger Beat.
I'm a little bit older than you, so I had some like, mine was, I always looked for the Jonathan Brandis centerfolds. I don't know if anyone remembers Jonathan.
I don't.
Jonathan
I remember
Brandis.
JTT.
JTT was a big one. Big one for my best friend back in the day. She loved her some Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I wasn't so into him.
I don't like people with three names like that.
Usually serial killers.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brandis was such a beautiful boy. He was in a show, I think, called Sequest. I think that was the name of the show. Very short-lived show. I cannot remember where else I'd seen him in. I really think I only knew him from the Teen Beat, Tiger Beat magazines. Like, I never saw his acting.
So he's like an influencer. They're like famous for absolutely nothing.
No reason.
Yeah.
Just for being good looking.
Just for being good looking. He was so beautiful. And he committed suicide, or he killed himself at 27, which is really sad.
That is sad.
I was heartbroken.
I was heartbroken.
I was. He was so pretty. So this Chris Hartford guy walks up and he's like, "Audrey, what are you doing here?" And everyone's like, "Oh my God, she knows Chris Hartford? What? And he's like, "I was just coming to see if you guys wanted to go check out the MTV spring break beach house. I got some tickets to a concert." And she's like, "No, we're just gonna chill here and watch the movies." And everyone's like, no, we want to go. And she's like, "Okay, I guess we'll go."
And the music was phenomenal at the spring break party.
Yeah, there was a really awkward scene. So now they're at the MTV spring break beach house, whatever it's called, the MTV video music spring break house, whatever. And there's a girl group performing called M2M. I've never heard of them. I don't remember them from the 90s or 2000s. They are a real group, or they were a real group. And like the lead singer is like hitting on Pacey at the very beginning. And then she's like, "Excuse me, I have to go do something." And then she hops on stage and starts singing.
Really cool.
So then what? I mean, like...
Well, we should also talk about Charlie and how he arrives. Because there are some moments at the like spring break party, concert, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But before that happens, Charlie, who banged Jen, but also cheated on her
with Nora?
some
yeah.
other chick that we've never seen again.
Right.
He's now really into Joey, and they have this like banter. They've been like having banter phone calls for a while.
Right.
And he keeps calling her while she's at this beach house, and like from payphones, and he's like asking where she is. It's very stalkery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
He just arrives there in Florida, like from Boston.
The 22-hour drive.
He made the 1 light year or 100 light year journey down to Florida. And he like knows, I can't remember what he told her, like how he figured out where she was.
Yeah, he told her some story about how he looked in the phone book and he called every
Liddell.
everybody in the phone book that had like Audrey's parents' names, and until he found the ones that were actually her parents, and then said that he was her lab partner and needed to know where she was to get notes. And then Joey was like, nice try, because they're in Europe or some shit. And then he's like, okay, fine. I asked Pacey. Pacey told me where you were. And I'm like,
right.
Okay, thanks, Pacey.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do
You're
that.
supposed to be looking out for your friends.
Yeah, don't.
There's like a weird creep calling all the time, trying
Yeah.
to figure out where Joey is. And you're like, oh, she's here with me.
Show up. Just show
Yeah,
up.
just come down here.
She'd love to see you, man.
He just like walked into the house or walked into the backyard. He's like, hey.
I'm here. And then she's like, and she does her little side smile. She's like, fuck you, but also, okay.
Yeah, so here's the thing. She keeps saying she's not interested. And when they're at the concert thing, Charlie's talking to another girl, and he like she cock blocks him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you're not interested, let him be. He's found someone else.
Well, she is interested.
I know,
She's
but she's,
playing
like,
like
I
she's
know,
playing that
she's-
she's not.
She's so annoying.
I want to point out the girl that Charlie was talking to was Hillary Burton, who I had no idea, but she was in real life an MTV VJ. But she goes on to play a major character in One Tree Hill with Chad Michael Murray, who is playing Charlie. So, like, Dawson's Creek is like the breeding ground for future WB stars.
They all get their start there. I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I think we've described Dawson's Creek as like the Law and Order for teen actors.
Yeah, like everybody's been,
Everybody makes
Yeah.
a cameo. Well, and then it kind of happens again because Joey is talking to the male MTV VJ whose name is Brian McFadden. That's who that's who that is. And he's like, I can get you backstage passes and I can give you a tour. And then Charlie does the same thing to her. He like cock blocks her from talking to this guy. And Charlie's like, just go away, dude. And Joey's like, just go away, dude. Was that the best you had to get this guy to go away?
It worked.
It
He was
did
like,
work.
Brian McFadden was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, I don't know what this is, but I'm not interested.
yeah.
I'm not interested in getting in the middle of it. I'm just going to go away.
So then they just continue to hang out. They like try to learn how to surf without actually going in the water.
Yeah, they're just like surfing on the beach.
Yeah.
On the sand.
And it's like this cute little montage of them like playing on the surfboard and running around the beach and stuff. And then like Joey goes inside to, I don't know, get something, or I don't know what she does, but she runs into Jen and Jen's like, yo.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
the fuck do you think you're doing?
She's like, it's weird that you keep fucking everyone that I've ever dated, A. And B, Charlie's a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't with him.
And
then Joey's like, oh my God, Jen, just like stay out of it. She was such a bitch.
she's like, I'll find out on my own if he's a fuckboy or not, okay?
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, stop fucking everyone you've ever dated, kind of like Dawson, like you did with Dawson. And I was like, actually, that's a valid point. They're all just having sex with one another. At this point,
Yeah.
it's like nothing matters.
Yeah.
Every dong is on the table.
Mm-hmm.
They're all up for grabs.
Every dong and every V.
Every V.
Every V.
Yeah,
every D and every V.
Every time they bring in like a new person, you're like, finally, they found somebody new. But then that guy
Or girl just gets
put,
passed
gets
around.
put into the rotation. And I'm like, stop rotating. You do it once. And then if you break up, he goes away. you find somebody else. You don't
Yeah.
like pick up the scraps of your friends, like
Ugh.
leftovers, sloppy seconds.
Ew.
Gross.
Just so you all know, I would never, ever want to have sex with anyone that any of you have ever been with.
Same.
And I hope you all feel the same.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
I mean, we live in New York. We can find someone random that isn't.
There are other people in this city.
Yeah, that isn't in the friend group.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Although our friend group is just really us three, and like Ben
Yeah.
sometimes, and
Alex sometimes.
And then they end up in like, so they end up on the beach at night and they like have a little bonfire going on. And because Charlie like kind of is like, you know, well, so I guess I'm not going to be able to sleep with you tonight. And Joey's like, damn straight. And I guess he brought a tent or something, or maybe Audrey's parents had a tent in the house. I don't know where they got the tent.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering the same.
I don't know where they got this tent, but they're on the beach and he's attempting to like set it up. And it turns out like the next day or the next morning, they like put the tent up inside the house.
yeah, they make it look like at first that the tent is on the beach and that they slept in it, but then they pan out and they're like in the living room.
Yeah.
Which, okay, so one time in high school, I had some people over to spend the night and we were going to camp out back in my mom's backyard. We set up the tent. We had like a little camp light in there. We were having fun. And then something spooked me. And then we all like camped in the house, like in the living room. So we kind of did that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
It
Yeah,
was
I'm sure. I'm
scary
sure
in
a
the
lot of. I'm
backyard.
sure that happens a lot. Like, you know.
That's the only time I've ever camped, by the way.
I mean, that's the only type of camping that I'd be okay with.
I don't want to camp. I
Yeah.
want running water
Yeah.
and internet.
I mean, in New York, some people set up tents in their living room and rent it out as a bedroom.
That is
I need
true.
a roommate. I'm just gonna
Give them the tent.
yeah, I'm gonna put up a box in the corner and call it a room.
Oh, but they did kiss.
They did kiss. They did share their first kiss. Yeah.
Did they bang? They didn't bang.
They did not bang.
No.
They never bang.
Yeah, I
As
don't-
far
I
as
thought
I.
they banged at home. Like in
No.
the next episode or whatever, when they're all back in the dorms. I
Oh.
thought they banged that night.
They were
Yeah.
fully clothed when they woke up.
That definitely means they did not get undressed and dressed again.
I mean, do you get dressed and
Well, when I'm leaving someone's place.
no,
I
no, no.
get
They
dressed.
no. Okay, well, we shouldn't talk about this because it's in the next episode.
I don't. Think,
Okay,
I don't
okay.
think they bang.
I don't think they bang.
I thought they did.
No, I don't think so. We can talk about it further when we get to the
right.
next episode.
Put her on mute.
So now let's talk about. Let's go back to talk about Audrey, Chris, and the Pacey. This like quick little love triangle that we go through with these two. So Chris Hartford, the teen heartthrob, and Audrey went to high school together. Chris is her first love. She describes him as her Dawson. And before all of this, like Audrey and Pacey are like in the bedroom and they're making out, and they're both kind of like saying things that they think the other person wants to hear, like, oh, this is just casual, we're just having fun, like it's not serious, and they're both agreeing with the other person, but you can tell that Audrey like wants more. She doesn't want it to be casual.
She wants that to be
anymore.
her boo thing for real.
For real, yeah. So there's like one scene where they're at the concert or at the MTV Beach House, and I guess they get into a little more heated conversation about it. And then they kind of go their separate ways a little bit. And there's a scene where Pacey runs into Chris in the bathroom, and Chris is like, Pacey doesn't say anything like, oh, I'm with Audrey. He just lets Chris talk.
Yeah, and Chris is like, so Audrey's like really incredible, right?
He's like, I was really glad to hear, because I kind of thought maybe something, but glad to know there isn't anything going on between you guys, because man, I would really like to get back with her.
I'd really like to get back in there.
Yeah. And Pacey's
all up
just,
in there.
and Pacey's just like nodding his head like, oh, okay, bro. All right.
People in Dawson's Creek, they need to learn how to communicate. Just like use your words. Pacey should be like, oh, actually we're like seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then Chris would be like, oh, dude, bro, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize, bro.
That would
Problem solved.
make
End of episode.
boring.
I was gonna say, then there would be no episode.
Yeah, there'd be no drams then.
There would be
It's
no.
like so much drams.
What's the point though? Why else are we gonna watch?
So,
For 3 hours.
so I think the bathroom scene between Pacey and Chris happens before the like slightly heightened conversation between Pacey and Audrey, where she's like, I think, where they're having the same conversation.
Audrey
about, like,
just said, like, this was my friend in high school.
right, yeah,
But really, they dated.
right,
And really, that was her Dawson.
right,
So she's like still hung up
right.
over this Chris dude.
And when she describes Chris as her Dawson, she says that to Pacey, and it really bums Pacey out. And so they're in this, little fight or whatever, and Pacey talks to Joey about it, and he's like, I know how this goes, she said that Chris was her Dawson. Like, I can't compete with that. I've never been able to compete with that. I know what that's like. And Joey's just like, what? I don't remember. I can't remember exactly what advice she gives to Pacey, but basically just like, stop being a jerk, stop being a dumbass, and just tell her what
Pacey
you want.
did catch them kissing.
But this happened before the kiss. Her Pacey and Joey having their little heart to heart. And so whatever advice Joey gave to Pacey, he takes it and he's like, okay, I'm going to go tell her what I want.
Right. And he has flowers.
And he wants flowers for her. Right. And when he comes up in the house, he sees them talking or whatever. Does he actually see them kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Pacey with his 2 little carnations, like, sadly walks away.
His like bodega carnation.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what he got.
Yeah. I mean, sad as flowers to get the woman that you love. Carnations? What?
Bodega carnations.
He got them at 7-Eleven. He went to get like a Red Bull and
Yeah.
carnations.
Yeah. So Pacey's sad. And then
I'd be pissed.
I'm sure he's a little pissed. Then at some point, Audrey really tells him what she wants. She's like, I want to be your girlfriend. Ask me to be your girlfriend. And then Pacey's like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And she says yes. And then they kiss.
And then they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
And now they're boyfriend, girlfriend.
boyfriend and girlfriend. And then more drama.
Yay.
More drama happens.
Not yet.
Not yet. Put her on mute. Quit talking ahead. And then, all right, so that's fine and good. I think the real meat of this episode, though, is with, partially with Dawson, who is en route to New York this whole time with Oliver, and they get into some like heart to heart, like talk about their feelings, because that's what teenage boys do. And
the whole time they're in their car, Dawson is just telling the entire Joey Dawson love story to Oliver, because apparently Oliver really wants to hear it. And so they're doing Cindy's most favorite thing, which is doing a whole shit ton of flashbacks.
I made a note about it. I was like, I love the memory montages.
As soon as I saw these flashbacks, I was like, I'm sure Cindy is loving this.
They're always like a little like cloudy, fuzzy flashback.
And they're like
sepia tone.
Just in case anyone were to be confused,
'cause all
like that happened in the past.
In the olden days.
In the olden days.
The olden days of like last season or like earlier this year.
Earlier this year. Yeah.
And it was the most ridiculous bullshit. Like the clips they were showing.
Yeah.
Their whole relationship, Dawson and Joey, has been, they're like running in circles.
Yeah, no, it's super toxic.
It's like a merry-go-round for them.
Right. So then Oliver's like, you know what you got to do, man. You got to go after the girl. And
right now.
Yeah, right now. Even though they're all the way in Florida and we're on our way to New York to meet with like a producer, and this is like
for
our
a really important meeting.
right,
The only meeting they've been called into.
right.
So what do?
They blow off the meeting.
They'll like, we'll reschedule. I'm like, that won't fly.
You want to take that risk?
that won't,
Fine.
that would never fly.
For what? So that you can go tell Joey that you have feelings for her again? You guys have been doing this for ages.
Yeah, it can't
They
wait.
can't wait a week.
Yeah, like
Can't wait
It
till they're
needs
back
to
on
happen
campus.
right now.
like you're gonna be back in Boston in like a week.
I wrote down what a fucking idiot Dawson is. And I wrote down that he deserves every dramatic, ugly cry that he has coming for this. He deserves all of it. Why are you blowing off like such a huge life opportunity to do what?
Yeah, to go tell Joey that you're into her. She's gonna be like,
Dumbass.
yeah, like stop fucking messing with me.
He gets down there and turns out she's in a tent in the living room with Charlie.
yeah, he shows up and then Pacey's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, Joey, I gotta tell. And he was like, nah. He's
Check
like,
the living room, bro.
yeah, he's like, this now's not a good time. But Pacey once again is like the voice of reason, and he was like, you and Joey have been fucking doing this bullshit for a long time, and like right now especially is not the time for the bullshit. Like she's, you know,
in a tent
And
in the
like-
living room.
she's
like-
busy right now, and she's not with you.
And Dawson's ego this whole time was just like at 100%. He's like, no, man, I can feel it. I got to tell her. She's going to totally
Feel it.
she's going to totally like fall in love with me all over again. And Pacey's like, bro,
Nah.
she's
she-
with Charlie.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Dumbass. Idiot. You're ruining your life.
Stupid.
Stupido.
So then Dawson, so that's one point, but also when Dawson arrives there, Jack is like hammer time.
This is my favorite scene I've ever seen
And
in
he's
Dawson's Creek.
he's on top of, there's like in the back porch area that overlooks the pool, that overlooks the beach. There's like a pergola.
We do have to note real quick, this is a lead up because Jack's been getting fucked up, like too drunk at every sort of social drinking
Yeah. He's
situation.
basically
People have been noticing it for a bit.
of
Yeah.
of the core group on this spring break trip. He is the only one who is getting wasted face 24/7
Yeah, everyone else is having a wholesome time cheating on
spring break.
cheating on their
Yeah.
partners and
Getting bodega carnation.
Yeah.
Camping in the living
like
room.
crying and
But Dawson's
and-
Creek is so unhinged.
and the rest of the time Jack's just by himself on top of the
Yeah.
pergola in the back. It's not a balcony. It's not a place
It's
where
not a balcony.
it's like one of those pagoda, like wooden
pergola.
yeah, a pergola,
Yeah.
like vines and things are meant, and it's just like meant to provide some sunshade.
But
So
he's
you're-
been chilling up there.
He's
for
been up
days.
there by himself this whole time, getting wasted. And then Dawson shows up and he's like, hey, man, you okay? You good? And he's like, yeah, I can fly. And Dawson's like,
Dawson's like, why don't you come down from there? And Jack's like, okay.
Cyndi, why don't you tell what happens?
Well, is this legal?
I don't know. I mean, we have to narrate what it is because this is a podcast. People
Yeah, they can't
People
s-
can't see this.
Can't see your phone.
Yeah. So
Jack, is that you? Check me out, dude. Woo! Hey, but be careful up there. Hey, look, I can fly.
Jack's on the top of the pergola.
I
Dawson's
want you to
like,
come down from there.
okay.
Okay. Come right down.
Dramatic music ensues.
So like it looks like Jack's turning around to come down like a normal human being, but then he like spreads his arms open like a spread eagle,
He's looking at the pool. to
looking at the
jump.
pool. And then it's just like a really awkward fall. He doesn't even like jump, like launch himself. He just like
He just like
walks
topples over.
off. Yes.
Yeah, and the configuration of the patio, he should have like hit the like fence that's around the pool,
Absolutely.
like busted his head open, broke his neck, but he lands full on into the pool and then immediately is unconscious.
Yeah.
And so Dawson, after his 22-hour drive from Boston down to Florida, has to like jump into the pool with all his clothes on and like fish Jack out of the pool.
Yeah. And then like when they're on the porch or whatever after they've dried off,
Suddenly Jack is sober all of a sudden.
he just has like a major breakdown. He's like, I'm failing out of college and I don't know how I'm going to fix it. And I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I just want to start over. Why can't I start over? And just has a really major.
And like I said earlier, dude, you're 19. Just like start over. Wake up tomorrow. I don't know. Open one of your books and study and fix it.
Yeah,
He's not like 50 and has destroyed his entire life. And he's like,
he's
been
not like
an
on his,
alcoholic for 30 years.
third divorce or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, kids aren't talking to him. Like,
Yeah, like just study. I don't know.
just,
Start
like,
over.
Study and stop drinking so much. Get your shit together.
You just started life. Like, what do you mean start over? Life has just begun.
Oh, poor Jack. And
I do wish him well. I want him to get it together.
Yeah,
Jack is my favorite.
We want to see Jack succeed. He's just had a hard time. Not, some people have a hard time when they go off to college.
I was going to say, yeah, first year of college can be rough on some people. And so he hasn't been able to handle it very well. And, I don't think like he thought that he was finding his place when he joined the fraternity and that didn't work out. And so
he like broke up with his boyfriend that he had.
Yeah, he broke up with Toby.
And he
found out Toby has a new boyfriend and that's added to his, sadness or whatever.
What happened with him and Toby? Who broke up with who?
I think Jack effectively broke up with him because Toby had come in for the visit or something.
Unannounced.
Jack was in Hell Week for the fraternity. He was being asked to do all these random asinine things and basically blowing Toby off. And on the last day that Toby was in town was also Jack's initiation into the fraternity. And Toby thought that he would blow off the initiation and come. And
a little unreasonable.
And Jen was like, I don't think he's coming, Toby. And he's like, yeah, I know. I just kind of thought
I thought that if I showed up here without any warning, he would drop everything to spend the entire week with me.
Yeah, that episode bothered me because, and then the whole episode, everybody, not just Toby, but Jen, they all made Jack out to be the villain. They're like, we don't know who you are. Like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I had a whole week planned with the frat. And like, he showed up unannounced and expected me to drop everything. Like, that's not cool.
It's not cool at all.
And he's like, and I didn't. And I tried to work him in the best I could, but I also had this other stuff going on that I needed to do. And then they were all like, you're a jerk. And you, what's happening to you? And I'm like,
no wonder Jack's wasted on the pergola and like leaping into the pool with friends like that.
He's been villainized. Assholes. Meanwhile, he's just trying to like do the frat thing. Like, let him do the frat thing.
Let him do it.
Let him do it.
Let him live his life.
And like, don't fucking show up unannounced. I'd be mad too if somebody showed up unannounced and they're like, why don't you blow off work this week and just hang out with me? I'd be like, no. I can't. I can't just blow off work. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, you're an asshole because you won't like fucking blow off your job to like go sightseeing with me. I'm like, yeah.
So I think basically though the frat is maybe where things started to go south for Jack. Like, I mean, partying is great. Getting hammer time is fine. But I think he took it a little too far, and he just kept drinking.
He did just keep drinking.
Yeah. And so now it's kind of all catching up to him because aside from the whole Toby situation, in earlier episodes, we also learned that he was already in trouble with the school. Like he wasn't failing yet, but he had gotten a letter from the school saying like, you're in trouble. You better get your shit together. And now things just seem to be kind of compounding or whatever. All right, got to take a Murphy break because he's just like,
why are you being so cute to me? Does he want water? Is that what he?
His bowl.
And
he knows. His bowl
he knows
dry?
I'm the one that makes sure he has water.
Please, Victoria. Save me.
I'm a terrible pet parent. Murphy's always out of water every time. Only when Cyndi and Victoria here does Murphy run out of water.
Well, he gets excited. We run him around and play toys with him, and then he runs out of water. Oh my God.
Oh,
He's like, thank you, Auntie Cyndi. I was parched.
oh, Murphy.
Oh, Murphy. You're a sweet boy.
He's a baby. He's a little dumb idiot.
Oh.
I mean, he is, but he's cute. He can't help it.
All right, where were we? We're talking about Jack. So yeah, I mean, Jack has just been spiraling a little bit.
Yeah. But this is his wake-up call. He's got to get his shit
Yeah, I
together.
think he has had a big realization.
Yeah. So what else? I think we hit everything.
I think that's it. Oh, then... No, we hit everything. I was like, wait a minute. Nope, that was it.
All right. That was a good episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, let's end this. All right. Well, we'll be back next week with episode 20. My name is Melissa.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Cyndi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.